Hello, hello, hello. This is Valencia, and I am with Valencia's voice that goes in the earth realm. Here with a message. It's a karmic reading, period, but it's a karmic reading regarding my life. So Spirit said that some things are going to be downloaded into my spirit. So as I'm speaking with you guys, this is the download that I am getting. Okay. So, as it relates to the karmics in my life, Spirit specifically is saying at this time that one of the main reasons why it's important for me to share my experiences and my story is because it's meant to help free and release me, right? Anytime that someone has gone through traumatizing situations, experiences, oftentimes the perpetrator wants the victim to feel like a victim, for one. They want them to feel shame and guilt. They also want them to have a blaming spirit on them, right? Blaming themselves. When an individual gets into this mindset, right, they're not able to function at their highest level of self. So again, this goes back to the root chakra, the solar plex, and the sacred chakra. These things are what sets our foundation, right? This is what keeps us whole. This is what keeps us stable. This is the core of who we are. And so anytime that this area is out of balance for us, we're not operating at our highest level of self, okay? And so Spirit said that, for one, that was one of the reasons why, so that no one can try to come and shame me, right? No one can come and try to embarrass me. No one can come and try to make me feel regret or make me feel like I'm a victim, okay? The second reason why Spirit is saying that it's so important for me to tell my story as I am awakening and enlightening and moving in the direction that serves my life mission and my soul purpose is because there is somebody who there's somebody who is inquiring about my life, okay? There's somebody that wants to know specifically who I am, where I come from, where I grew up with, who were my friends, what I was like as a child, you know, my mishaps, my hiccups, my delays, anything and everything, right? And Spirit is saying that this person or these persons are doing this because, again, associated with the karmics of my life, they've been inquiring about my future, right? And so the hopes was that they can identify some dirt on me, and when I begin to move in the direction in which Spirit has for me, that they can come and expose this information, or they can come and try to blackmail me with this information, or they can come and try to tarnish my name. Now, remember, I did a video about, and I just did a snippet of that video about, remember, God says that you're favored, right? I got the red hair, I'm in the car with the white shirt on. I can't remember the name of the title of the video, okay? And it's the same thing. It's that same energy, right? But Spirit is saying specifically there is somebody or somebodies that have been paying family members and friends to try to get information on me, right? Or to try to put me in scenarios where I act outside of my character. Now, one of the things that has been happening to me as a result of the karmic, so we know that the karmic is my child's father. We know that the karmic is my foster mother. We know that the karmic is some of my siblings, not all of them, but some of my siblings. We know that the karmic is my old neighbor where I used to live. We know that the karmic is my daughter's father's girl best friend. We know that the karmic is my daughter's father's boy best friend, all whom of which he has had relations with, sexual relationships with, okay? And then his family, they're my karmics in a sense that they couldn't identify why he was so happy in a relationship with me. And this is all, just like coming to me. Like I said, I've never had any issues with them. I always, they treated me fine. They treated me well. But what Spirit is saying to me is that there is a heavy spirit of jealousy as it relates to his relationship and his connection to me. And I'm not sure why, okay? Now, getting back to this paying stuff, right? So, family karmics have been receiving money or monetary gain somehow, some form, trying to spew information on me. Now, with the black magic that has been being done, and my daughter's father, who is now my ex-husband, has been doing this. My foster mother has been doing this. Pretty much all those people that I just named, and then there's some people that I don't even know that we're supposed to be friends, okay? And Spirit is, revealing things to me slowly but surely, because a lot of people have betrayed me. A lot of people have backstabbed me. A lot of people have been very dishonest with me, okay? But Spirit is saying with a lot of the black magic that has been used is that the karmic ex-husband and the rest of the crew, they've been using a lot of conflict magic, okay? So what this means is that no matter where I go, right, there's going to be a conjuring of conflict. Like I'm just going to be met with conflict and adversity everywhere I go, because this is the magic that they've been doing, right? Now, they've also been doing conflict magic as it relates to any form of paperwork that I had. And remember, I was telling you guys about how long it took me to get divorced and all this other stuff. And it was because he was doing this magic, and they were doing this magic because in order for him to extend the contract, which was a karmic soul tie contract, a past life contract, I had to stay connected to him. And so he was willing to do whatever, and they were willing to do whatever it took to kind of continue to keep that going, okay? But like I said, I broke free from that, okay? And I had to make a very serious sacrifice, okay? But I was led to do that intuitively by my ancestors and the spirit guides and the ascended masters and the angels and the divine, okay? I was intuitively led to do that, okay? Because honestly, truth be told, he wasn't even really going to make it to that next court date, to be honest with you, okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. And I want to say this as well. I'm talking about in a spiritual manner, because I have never in my life ever did any type of magic, hexes, curses, voodoo, hoodoo in a negative way or in a positive way to anybody, okay? But these are just things that are being downloaded in my spirit, because I want you guys to know how serious and how real this is, okay? Because it's not only happening to me, it's happening to so many people, okay? And this is why it's very important for us to identify the people, the spirits, the souls, the connections, the partnerships that we are around, because it has a great influence on the things that happen, things being delayed, things not happening the way that they're supposed to. So with the conflict magic, right, messing up my paperwork, messing up my business stuff, Spirit is saying not only was he and they doing conflict magic, what my karmic ex-husband was doing is he was actually tapping into my we already know he was tapping into my 8th house, like still in abundance. But he was also tapping into me, like getting readings and things done, having psychics read like things that I was supposed to do, or past life readings and things like that. And what he was doing is he was stealing my ideas of things that I wanted to do or things that I was going to do. Now, he couldn't bring them into the atmosphere because, for one, he's not that smart when it comes to being inventive or innovative, okay? But what he was doing is he was stealing my ideas and he was giving it to other people for them to bring it into the atmosphere, right? And so once they did that and they started making money, he was in turn getting money off of the businesses that they were creating from the ideas that he stole from me. So for instance, I'm a mental health counselor, right? One of my goals when I first became licensed was to start a mental health agency. What Spirit has brought to my attention is that one of the ideas that I had created, he gave it to one of his friends, and his friends created this business in another state, okay? Now, I also had an idea about doing something with like children and some other things. I talk about this in another video. What he did was he gave this idea to his best friend. His best friend then went into another state, not the state that he lives in. He went into another state and they opened up the business, okay? But this business plan right here, it fell through because I caught on. I was Googling one of my businesses that I have right now, like looking up trademark information, because you know you're supposed to trademark your businesses. You're supposed to own the names of these things, right? And so, and also, that's another thing. Like with this business right here, right now, he's working with a tarot reader in South Carolina, right? And he's been giving her my ideas, but she's also been spiritually hovering over me, right? And what they were doing is they've been doing conflict magic with my paperwork for my trademark, so that my trademark paperwork won't go through, because she's been stealing stuff from me, right? And I have proof of all this stuff, right? And so what they've been doing is trying to mess up the paperwork so that my trademark will not go through. Because if you're saying, something that's been trademarked, you can be sued for that. But what they don't understand is the trademark is not based off of the effective date that the trademark is due. The trademark is based off of the day that you started the paperwork, okay? So this is where she's going to be, this is where she's going to be hemmed up, okay? But he's been working with this tarot reader in South Carolina. And she's an informant herself, right? So through this conflict magic that they've been doing, what she does is she acts like she's giving channeled messages or downloads. But what she's actually doing is doing personal readings on the people that come to her that want to know about people, okay? And so they pay her in different ways, like sending her donations, sending her tarot cards, having people buy stuff from her or send her stuff, right? They don't necessarily really pay her in cash, or they'll have things sent to her P.O. box, okay? But it's not necessarily really coming from them, okay? So they're like going about all different type of ways, okay? And so what she does is she acts like she has these channelings or these downloads, and what she's really doing is she's doing personal readings on these people that she's spiritually hovering over. Now, Spirit is saying what she's done in my case, right? She's done a reading on me, right? Where she actually says, I have the tarot reading and everything, where she actually says my name, right? Then she starts to describe my karmic and his family members. And then she starts to go into this reading about all this other stuff. Now, where she's spiritually messed up is, right, the karmic masculine is somebody that I was fleeing from, okay? From domestic violence, okay? And I had to put a temporary restraining on him. I had to file a CPS report. Not only was she trying to help him with trying to make me come to him, because she was doing she was helping him with doing a come to me spell. Not only did she help him with that, she told him where I was, right? And so in her fake channeled messages, what she does is, or even when she's doing her tarot readings, okay, she's giving these people informations in the midst. So she'll say, okay, we're going to do a masculine reading today, right? And she'll do the reading. She'll pull a card. She'll do the 10 of cups. Okay, we're going to talk about happy family. But y'all, let me tell y'all this, okay? And then in the midst of her, y'all, let me tell you this. She's actually telling whomever the person is that is seeking the information about whatever in that message. So for instance, if she wants to know, if somebody wants to know where your divine feminine is, right? She's going to act like she's doing a regular message. In that message, she's going to talk about a city or a state of where the person is, okay? And this is how the person is going to know where that person is without her actually saying it in a personal reading, okay? Now, she's also been helping them with telling the masculine, the karmic, like your next move. So she'll do a reading on, okay, divine feminine or divine masculine. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know about our next move. What should we be doing next? Or what is coming for us? Now, of course, these are good readings, right? But these are not readings. They're not like a collective reading. They are personal readings, okay? And this is from someone that has asked her to give her information on someone, okay? And like I said, there are personal readings that she has specifically done on me, and she's already given herself away that this is what she's doing because, for one, you called my name, you described my masculine and his siblings to a T, and then you went on this rant about something. And then after that, you continued on with doing personal readings, okay? Now, let me tell you how good God is, okay? Because I also did a reading about divine feminine. Spirit is going to send you directly to your enemies, okay? And this is what God has been doing. God has been sending me directly to the people that have been attacking me. I don't even know who this person is. Do you understand? But this tarot reader has been helping him, okay? Now, that's not even where I was supposed to be going. But she is a part of the equation, and she's been a part of the equation clearly for a long time, okay? I know she's a tarot reader. I know she's an African-American tarot reader. I know she's heavy set. I know she wears glasses. And I know that she is, like I said, a woman, okay? And Spirit is saying that she is a false prophet, okay? Spirit is saying that she allows any source to use her to get a message, okay? Any source to use her to get a message. Now, I might not even post this video, or I might crop this part out because I don't get into all this messy stuff. But Spirit says, tell the truth, shame the devil, okay? Now, also with this conflict, magic, and things like that, and the karmic trying to get me stuck and somebody paying somebody to get information on me. Spirit is saying that somebody, again, was supposed to be using this to try to block me and stop me. Now, Spirit also has advised me of how the karmic first started with the magic, okay? So, and this is also the same people that the karmic gave the information to about one of my businesses that I wanted to start. So once I took my braces off, I got a retainer, right? And you know you got to have a retainer so that your teeth can get straightened. Clearly, y'all can still see me in my video. I still wear a retainer. What the karmic did was he had to take something personal from me that I needed. And he had to take it without me knowing that he took it. And what he did when he took that, he took it to a hoodoo voodoo priest, okay? When he did that, he did a binding spell on me so that I would not leave him. He did a binding spell on me so that I would never talk negatively about him. He did a binding spell on me so that I would never be able to see who he truly was. So pretty much making sure that I had a veil over my eyes so that I wasn't able to see all this confusion and chaos that he had going on. Okay? Now, I do want to say this, okay? I do personally believe, because of who I am as an individual, I am a healer naturally, okay? I do personally believe that you cannot be in my presence, like live with me, be around me, and not begin to start to heal. So I'm saying this to say that I do believe that he was beginning to heal during some portion, some aspect of this connection, okay? But in the midst of that, he was still doing the conflict magic. He was still doing the binding spells, and he was doing all of this other ritual work, okay? So the first time he actually started like really doing the hardcore magic is when he stole my retainer. And this has to be at least 10, 12, 15 years ago, okay? He took it to a voodoo hoodoo priest, and they started doing the binding spell. Now, mind you, I couldn't find this retainer for about 2 weeks, okay? Now, this is also things that narcissists do as well. They'll take things from you and then act like you're crazy and act like, you know, something's wrong with you, like you're the one that's losing stuff, when in all actuality, they're taking it and they're hiding it from you, okay? And so, he took them. I couldn't find them. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I was able to find them. And they just suddenly popped up in my drawer. Okay? He also took one of my hats that I used to wear all the time. And I actually never received that. What Spirit is telling me what he did with that is he did a binding spell with that hat as well, and he buried it in my backyard. So that was for me to never leave that house, which I sold anyway. And made money off of it because they were trying to make me lose my house. And that was another form of magic, okay? The big like one of the biggest things that he did happened maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, where we went to one of his friends' wedding, okay, at the beach. Now, the reason why this is important is because he had to be in my element, okay? And what he did was, again, conflict magic was being used. He made me so angry. When I tell y'all he made me so angry, like I was trying to leave and I could not leave. He took the car, he took the keys. I didn't have my money, I didn't have my ID. All I had was my cell phone. I had no means to get away, okay? We went to his friend's wedding at the beach. They did some type of ceremony to initiate him into some type of higher level occult shit. This is when he started like changing for real. This is when he started going bananas, and I could start seeing the slow change in him towards me. And this is when I was really going to leave. But again, he had done that binding spell and I didn't know. And so Spirit was saying what he did at that time was he needed to make me angry so that he could steal my power, steal my energy, so that he could take that energy when he went to go do this initiation, so that he could then start hovering over me, so that he could start like tapping into my mindset, right? So that he could start stealing, my ideas, so that he could start to see what I was seeing, hear what I was thinking, where he was able to, again, start harvesting my energy, okay? And they needed me in, for one, a destitute state, and then they needed me in my natural element, which I'm a water sign, so I needed to be by water in order for it to effectively work. And that's when he started working on me, because before, he never could tap into me. You understand? He never could put like magic and stuff on me and it actually like work, okay? Like my mother, I was always able to throw it off of me. And so what Spirit is saying is that once he was able to do that, then that's when he started to like really start to do the work, okay? Like start working on me, okay? Spirit is saying that he also was in cahoots with, my mom, my foster mother, and my siblings, okay? He's been having sex with my foster sister that's right before me in the 5D. They've been having like a sexual relationship. He's also actually had sex with my sister, one of my sisters, because I got five foster sisters. He's had sex with one of my foster sisters, and he also slept with my brother's girlfriend when she came to my house. Okay. He slept with the karmic neighbor. Okay. Now let me tell you about this crazy what Spirit delivered in my spirit. Okay. He was sleeping with my neighbor. Okay. My neighbor knows how to throw cards and stuff like that, but she is a dark soul. She's a witch. Okay. Whom I think she's related to me, okay? And that's going to be another video. Like, I think she's like a part of my family, okay? But she's a dark soul. She and I were pregnant at the same time. And what Spirit is saying to me is that what she wanted to do, what they wanted to do, was to steal my baby's presence energy so that her baby would have it. But she also wanted to steal and harvest my energy while I was pregnant so that she could carry the baby and not lose the baby, okay? She wanted to steal my energy and my presence so that when she had her child, that she could be my child's spiritual mother, and that I would be her child's spiritual mother, and that my ex-husband would be her child's spiritual father. Okay? Now, if you don't know about spiritual children, you can have somebody's physical child and they be somebody else's spiritual baby. If you're not aware of what that is, Google it, okay? Now, what Spirit is saying is that this is why I was being met with so much conflict, chaos, and confusion, because while I was pregnant, she was projecting all of her energy on me and my baby. And she was siphoning all of our energy so that she could keep her baby, because Spirit is saying that she's a bearing woman. She was not supposed to be able to carry children. Spirit says that she's killed many babies, okay? And so she needed me to be pregnant while she was pregnant so that she could carry her baby, okay? So that she could keep her baby, okay? Like, the shit is so crazy. Her baby and my baby were like a week apart. Okay? This is how crazy it is. This is how y'all don't even understand. Okay? And so what Spirit is saying is that all of this chaos and conflict, and at this time I didn't know that all this stuff was going on. I had no idea. I just knew that there was a lot of chaos and conflict and confusion going on around me. And it was creating a lot of distress in my life, okay? I had a very chaotic pregnancy, and it's because of all this stuff that was going on. But then Spirit is also saying as well, a lot of it was coming because my daughter's father was playing in, dark magic, okay? And so pretty much he attempted to affect my bloodline, okay? He attempted to affect my seed, okay? My daughter. And so, my spirit teams are doing all this work trying to fight off all of this chaos and conflict and confusion. And so Spirit is saying, again, the reason why it's so important for me to tell this story is because there are some people that are going to try to come out of the woodworks, that are going to try to start telling these stories or selling these stories about who I am, right? Because you lived next to me for 10 years, okay? Or because you were my foster sibling, or because you were a childhood friend, or because you came to my house, or because we went to college together. And Spirit is saying that I'm allowing you to put, they don't want me to talk, I'm about to start choking, y'all. They're trying to stop me from talking. Spirit is saying that I'm putting you in a position to not only heal yourself through telling your story, but as you continue to elevate and activate, and as you continue to walk in your purpose, your story is already there. Now, I'm not saying that I am by no means not faulted by any means necessary, because I ain't no better than the next person. But I have tried to live my life in a way that has been integral my whole entire life, even since I was a young child. I always knew that I had a strong responsibility. I always knew that people looked up to me or was always listening and watching, okay? I always knew that. And so I've always carried this burden of making sure that I always do the right thing, okay? Now, with that being said, I am not perfect by no means necessary, okay? But you cannot blackmail me, okay? You cannot expose me. There is nothing to expose. There is nothing to tell on me. You understand? There's nothing to give a story about. There's no tabloids, baby. And your tabloid about my now ex-husband, out here in the streets sleeping with anybody and everybody because he's neglecting to deal with his childhood trauma. He's neglecting to deal with his childhood sexual abuse. He's neglecting to deal with his childhood abandonment issues. And so these people have used that against him. And the same people that he was working with to put magic on me are the same people that has been putting magic on him. So this was going to come out, me being married to him and how he's been out here in the streets, sleeping with prostitutes, sleeping with transgenders, having orgies and all this other stuff, putting my life and my baby's life at risk out here in these streets. Him stealing money from me, stealing business contracts from me. You can't expose me. You can't blackmail me. You can't bribe me. This is why Spirit is telling me to tell my story. Okay? There's nothing that you can hold over my head. There is nothing that you can make me feel shameful about, regretful about, victimized, or none of the above, okay? That is the whole gist of why Spirit wants me to continue to tell my story as it comes to me. And things are still being exposed, okay? This man may even have some sexually transmitted diseases. And this is why Spirit, specifically my ancestors, has kept me celibate for 3 years. Okay? This man wanted to come back into my life and infect me with the shit that he has, thinking that that was going to make me want to stay with him. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And it's not even like he had like this, grandiose sexual life with me anyway, okay? Because I always knew that deep down that he was kind of confused sexually of who he was. But I don't think he's gay, right? Because he was mishandled as a child by a family member, okay? And so we know when people are mishandled as children sexually, either you become very reclusive sexually or you become very promiscuous sexually, okay? And he allowed people to get him in entanglements sexually that kept him in bondages, doing threesome, having orgies and all type of shit. And I always wondered why some of the people that we were connected to, that we used to hang out with, why they always used to ask, like, is y'all in an open relationship? Some of the people that we were connected to, they would invite us on these like couples trips. And I'm thinking like it's really, really like couples trips. But Spirit is advising me now, no, these were trips where couples go and they would bang each other's partners, okay? Or they would go with other couples and they would have sex with other couples. Now he can try to come on here and say that he has not been sleeping with prostitutes, but he may have just been sleeping with a whole bunch of people, okay? But he uses my email address for his iCloud. And I used to get these emails all the time about, dating for sex and all this other stuff. And I thought this was spam. But these emails would continuously come, right? And I would just delete them. And then within the last year, Spirit told me to start saving the emails, okay? And they would come to my spam box. Now, remind y'all, he has hacked every single device I have. He's hacked this email address as well. Spirit told me to start paying attention to the emails. What I started noticing is that the emails started disappearing. Okay? I still have copies of the emails now, where these would be the people that he would be going to hook up with for sex. Or this is a part of how, he's making money with people having sex for money. I don't know. But this shit is connected to my email and I have nothing to do with it, okay? But this is the stuff in how he's gotten me entangled and enmeshed in shit that has nothing to do with me. And so, again, you cannot blackmail me with nothing, okay? You can't expose me with nothing, because this is not my life. That is his life. And this is another reason why Spirit pulled me out of that marriage, because I wasn't supposed to be married to him in the first place, okay? God blessed me. God blessed him with me, right? Once I had that baby, I was like, God, I'ma just, I'm gonna do what's right. I didn't grow up with my mother and my father. I want my daughter to have whatever I want. I didn't have, right? I want to have a 2-parent household. I want to do this. I want to do that. But see, he tried to pry on me wanting to have a family and try to use that against me. And so, I'm praying and asking these requests, and Spirit like, that's what you want? Okay, that's what I'm going to give you. Okay? But the ancestors wasn't having it. And the ancestors started creating chaos, conflict, and confusion in any area, in any direction, until I got up out of there. Because the ancestors started showing me and telling me that he is not the person that he has been presenting himself to be. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you about him healing. In the midst of him even doing all this chaos and stuff, I believe that he started to try to heal. And what happened was his family, who I believe have been doing black magic on us as well, started to do magic on him because he's not doing what their family does, okay? So he started to heal. He started doing good things. He started doing things that are right. He started healing. He started breaking generational curses. See, what he don't know is he is the one in his family that's supposed to break the generational curse. The men in that family are cursed. They are not to be with the mother of their children. They are not to marry the mother of their children. And if they do, they are going to have an extremely rough and chaotic marriage, and their children are going to be cursed, period. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all one thing. And I've already said this before. All of his brothers, including his daddy, have every single one of their children. Okay? Now, I don't know nowhere in America where you got multiple kids by multiple different women and you have every single one of your children. And the mothers don't have them. Unless you're just dealing with some women that really don't care about their kids. Especially when you got girls too. You know what I'm saying? You're just dealing with some low-life women. And that could be the story too, okay? But from what has been being downloaded in my spirit, my daughter's father thought that as a part of this conflict magic, he was going to make me go crazy so that he could steal my daughter, okay? And so that he could start using her for lower vibrational frequencies in their family. Now, if I'm lying, I have a recording from his stepmother where she said how I started to describe how my daughter's father changed and started doing all this crazy stuff, where she specifically said, and she's married to my daughter's father's father, so her grandfather. My daughter's grandfather is my ex-husband's stepmother, okay? She didn't she couldn't keep her kids. When she married my ex-husband's father, she couldn't keep her kids. Her kids had to go away. And so she ended up raising his kids, in which she did some magic on them too. And the main person that she had a strong grip on was my daughter's father. Spirit is also telling me that she may have sexually abused him spiritually, and she may have sexually abused him physically. Okay? And I know that these are very strong allegations, but these things are going to come out. Okay? And Spirit is saying that the reason why these things need to be spoken is because this is the type of shit that they were planning on doing to my daughter. My karmic ex-husband is the generational curse breaker in his family. This is why he really was connected to me in this lifetime, okay? He called me back into this lifetime so that I could save him, okay? He called me back in this lifetime to make sure that he had a daughter or a child with me, even though he killed my first baby, which was a boy. Subconsciously, he knows that he called me back into this lifetime so that I could save him, so that he could break free of the curse that has been plaguing his family for years. Okay? When me and my karmic ex-husband got married, his grandfather died. Okay? That was the beginning of breaking the curse on his family. Okay? This stuff run deep, y'all. This is why you got to know who you're connected to and why. This is why you got to be obedient and listen when the Most High is directing you away from a person or to a person. And it may not be what you want to do. When the Most High God is telling you to say something, okay? Or the Most High God is telling you to do something. They've been attacking me and my baby. They've been putting black magic on me and my baby. They've been putting conflict magic. Even still, they're still doing it. After Spirit has been warning them to stop, they're still doing it. Because they think they can steal my legacy and my destiny. And my baby's legacy and her destiny. And truth be told, my karmic ex-husband, who I believe Spirit was going to allow him to heal and transition and transform, because that's what I wanted at one point in time. Spirit was going to allow him to be able to elevate and be able to heal and move in that direction with me. But because he chose the world and not the world of the Spirit of the living God, he is going to be met with karma after karma after karma. Just like my foster mother and my siblings and false friends and neighbors, they're already experiencing and feeling it. You understand? Destruction is upon them, okay? Do you understand these people spoke death over me and my daughter's life? And Spirit keeps saying, but God. But God. You chose to believe God. You chose to trust God. When God told you to leave, you left. When God told you to go in another direction, you went in another direction. When God told you to be still, you were still. When God told you not to be in a state of where you are reacting, but to continue to pray, to continue to meditate, continue to be led by the Spirit of the living God, to not do tit for tat, to not do what someone else is doing to you. Because many a times I could have done that. I could have went to somebody else to go and do what somebody was doing to me, but I didn't do that because that's not who I am. I am who God has called me to be. I am the child of the Spirit of the living God, and He dwells on the inside of me and my baby. The Spirit of the living God says, because you were faithful, because you were true, I have no other choice but to bless you. I have no other choice but to continue to heal you, free you, release you, and elevate you. Spirit of the living God says that I don't give my tough battles to the meek-hearted. Spirit says I don't call the qualified, I qualify the called. To whom much is given, much is required. Spirit says, but you were built for this. You were born for this. You were made for this. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful. Yes, the people that you loved and trusted the most did the most damage to you. But it was all for greater good. It was all for the greater good of your life and the lives of those that you're going to touch. And the people that you will heal, and the people that you will save, and the people that you will transform, the people that you will teach and enlighten. It was all a part of the greater plan. And in every instance, when you had a chance to fold, to turn, you chose to keep trusting and believing that any day now, the Spirit of the living God is going to turn it around. That any day now, God is going to bring me out. That while in the belly of the beast, where I couldn't turn left or right. I couldn't go forward or backwards because I was being attacked on every end. My baby was being attacked when I looked left, when I looked right, when I looked forward, when I looked backwards. But Spirit of the living God says, shame on you. Because what you have done to me, the karma that you're going to receive over your life is going to make you regret the day you ever decided to speak anything negative in my direction. It's going to make you regret the day you ever uttered, even thought something malice towards me. And I'm going to end this video with this. I am not responsible for how God punishes anybody for their mischief, their malice, their ill will, the harm, the hurt, the pain, the trauma that you caused towards me and my baby. But what I will say is, I pray that there's a day that will come where your soul will be freed from the grips and the bondage and the strongholds that the demonic possession has you under. I pray that the Spirit of the living God is able to call you out of all that darkness and all that chaos and all that confusion that you dwell in. Because you're going to get your karma whether you want it or not. You're going to get your karma. But if you make it out of your karma, or when you make it out of your karma, because I'm a healer, I pray that your heart and your soul and your spirit is purified and cleansed. And that if the Spirit of the living God sends you back here, that you are able to walk in your highest level of purpose. See, my karmic ex-husband, he can't call me back here no more. He can no longer connect to me, not in any form of any kind. He can't even call me back through my daughter because he thought that was a way in too. He has been completely demoted, just like my foster mother and my foster siblings. They can't call me back in any other lifetime and show up as friends, show up as family, show up as business partners, show up as a false opportunity. They can't show up in my life anymore. They can't call me back in another lifetime. And so this is my prayer for you, all of you that have chose to intentionally hurt me and deceive me, even though it was a part of my soul contract. You understand? Even though it was a part of my karmic debt to get me to my highest level of self. I pray that the Spirit of the living God heals you, covers you, and protects you and frees you. I pray that you never come back to this lifetime the same way that you came this time, being as destructive and chaotic as you were in this lifetime, in my life. And I know if you have been this destructive and chaotic in my life, you have been this way in many other people's life. And I pray that the Spirit of the living God dismantles your ability to harm anyone else. All right, y'all. That's all I have. Until next time.